everyone. Okay, so today I'm coming on to show you the very basics of how I make a journal. Now, this is just my opinion, guys. There is so many tutorials out there on how to make different journals and things. And this is a very basic journal. This is a highly requested video. Since I launched my journal challenge, I have had so many people saying they don't know how to make them. So, obviously, this is a journal that you can win in the challenge. And this journal has got 2 signatures and loads of added pockets and things like that, and pom-pom trim and all sorts of things that you can add into it. But what I'm going to show you, this is actually as well a fabric covered journal, but what I'm going to show you is just a basic little journal. So first thing is cover, and what I've chosen for my cover is this hunky-dory adorable scoreable card. It's 300 GSM. And it's got this lovely pattern on it. Now, you can cut this down and have it a smaller journal if you like. But most of the journals that I make, I just use an A4. Or in America, the letter size. And I fold it in half. And that will make you a journal cover of about... Actually, this one's... Oh no, I'll show you, but I'll show you what I mean at the end. But the finished journal itself is about 6 1/4 by 8 3/4. Well, that can't be right, 8 3/4. Actually, I think this journal's bigger. It is, because I used the cardboard off the back of the paper pads. Right, scrap that. That's not a very good example. Anyway, forget all that. A4 sheet card. And all I'm going to do is score it in half. So, just roughly score it in half. And you don't need a scoreboard to do this, guys. If you don't have one, you can just fold it over and increase it with your bone comb. Bone comb. Bone folder. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me tonight? Bone comb. Do you remember the bone combs? My Ellison had to get use the bone comb a lot 2 years ago, and my Leona, God, when she was at the school, poor wee soul used to get head lice a lot, and she hated the bone comb. Anyway, it's just one of these things, isn't it? Kids at school. I digress. So I'm just gonna, I've got a wee tiny lip where I've not done it totally in half, so I'm just gonna take that off, and that's going to be my cover in my journal. Simple. Then choose how many pages you want in it. I never really go for a set amount of pages. I just sort of go with what I like. I haven't got like a set formula. Like some people I know do 60 pages front and back and things like that. It all depends on how many signatures you're putting in. Now, this book, I would put 1 signature in it. If I was doing a double signature, I would do a thicker spine. But for this basic tutorial, I'm just going to do the 1 signature. So I have this stack of coffee dyed papers. You don't have to use coffee dyed papers, you can just use photocopy paper and spritz them, or colour them with inks, stencil them, things like that. But I've got this anyway, so I'm going to use some of this. So all I'm going to do is fold them in half. And remember, guys, this sort of tutorial, all of these ideas you can adapt, you know, to your own, whichever way you like it. Like if I put in 10 pages, you can put in 20 pages. You know, the 300 GSM, you can use 200 GSM, 280, whatever. It's just to show you the basics of how I do it. So what I'm going to do then is, for this wee journal, we'll go with 10, okay? So we've got 3, 4, how many have I got there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then, obviously these will all be folded. I like to go, if I'm doing a journal, I like to do it in a theme. So really, my journals really are not junk journals as such. I know a lot of people, you can call them junk journals, but I like to use them as just like wee writing journals. Junk journals are more like when you're putting like your scrap envelopes in, you know, painting over it and things like that. But this is just a wee journal, so I like to always have a wee theme. And for this one, I'm going to use the Flower Fairies Autumn Kit that I got from Crate and Craft. So I'm just going to pull out some of the papers that I like that one. So we'll have that one, and we'll go for, what other wee ones do I like? That one's quite pretty. Wait a minute, I'm splitting the bag here. Let me take this out. That one's quite nice as well, actually. These are beautiful. Yeah, we'll go for that one. And that one with the gold in it. So I'll pick these three. Again, I'm picking 3, but whatever you were making, you would decide how many that you needed. So, fold these in half. Now, if you were making a smaller journal, so if you had this, your paper and your cover, and you had cut it down, okay, so say you had cut it to here, you could also, instead of cutting, like if you had 10 pages and you cut maybe 8 of them off to your size, the other 2 you could fold it in to the size, so that when your page closed you have a flip it, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, this one wouldn't work because obviously it's not cut down, but you still could, you could still turn this in if you wanted to. But what I mean is, the page, actually, it's better to show you. I'll show you another piece. So say I was cutting all my journals down to this size, okay? That size. Just say that was my journal page. That was the size that I was going to have my journal. So one of the pages that you can make within the journal, just fold this in half again. And this time, instead of cutting your journal pages to this size, what you can do is just measure it up, put a wee crease there, crease over both papers, and then just fold them in on themselves, so that when you had this within your journal, your 2 pages, you'd have your first page opening like that, that would be your second page, open it up, and you would have a flip, okay? And then on the other side you would have your flip and then your page. So you could do that. You could put these in your journal this size if you wanted to, because they don't have to be all the same size. So you could have like that size, and then this. So you'd have that page, and then that page. So we'll do that, I'll keep it in. So I'm just going to pause for a second and then fold all the papers. Okay, so I've folded all the papers now. Then, this is the part that you can add in other wee bits and pieces, like doilies. I always like to put a couple of doilies in my journals. I don't know why, I just always do it. I like them. I think they're really pretty when they're sprayed up or stamped on, just for decoration. So I always put in a couple of doilies. And then I also like to put in a couple of paper bags. So I've got this one, and all I'm going to do is fold it in half, and then take my scissors and cut off this end so that it opens and you can put things in it. And I also cut off if they've got these jaggy bits. Not all bags have them, but I like to cut off that just to make it neat. And then the same with this one, just a wee white one. We will just open it up at this end. I just think in the journal these are nice for keeping like receipts in, or you know, photographs or little keepsakes, or I just like putting them in. I think they're a nice wee addition to just having pockets. So we've got that. Now, like I said, you can add book pages, you can add double tags, all sorts of things. Anything that can fold in half and you want to put it in your journal, put it in there. So that's what we have got. But like I said, this is just a nice basic tutorial. So then it is just a case of arranging your pages. Now this page is not double-sided, as you can see. So I will be decorating that, but I'm going to bind the book first. So first of all, you need to decide what order you want your pages in. Again, this is just total preference. It is whatever way you like it. I usually start with one of the patterned papers. So I'm going to start with this one. It means when you open your journal, this will be your first page. So I'm going to start with this. Now, at this stage, if you want, you can go ahead and use your stencils to decorate your pages with inks or whatever you like to do. You can spray through it. You can use your distress inks. But I like to do it after I've put my journal together. It's just, again, total preference, guys. If you find it easier to decorate your journal before you bind it, then that is totally up to you. So then I'm going to put in one of my coffee dyed papers. Then I'm going to have one of my doilies, like that. Another one of my coffee dyed papers. My bag. Then I'll have another coffee dyed paper. Then I will have another one of my decorated papers. Then we'll go in with this small paper, and then the larger one. Then we'll go in with the folded one. How many papers have I got left? 5, so we'll go paper bag. 1, 2, printed paper. 1, doily, printed paper, sorry, coffee paper and coffee paper, and then just give them all sugared together, and then you have your signature like that. So let's just make sure it's all like that and see how it fits inside our cover. Now, as you can see, I have some edging. You know, the cover doesn't cover the edge. What you can do on some journals is either add in another piece of card, you know, double it up. Now, I have done this on journals before, where I have doubled put a bit of card on it out to here, and then put a ribbon strip, such as a sticky ribbon or a piece of lace, down to join it. However, with this journal, what I'm going to do is put something down the edge that will come out further, and I will show you that. But let's just bind it together. So for this part, I use my Big Kick. Is that what it's called? Big Bite, sorry. Crocodile Big Bite. But if you don't have that, you can still make one of these journals really easily. All you need is, if I can, 2 seconds, guys. Okay, so all you need is a pocket tool and an old book. And all you would do is get your pages where you want them. Now, if you find it easier, I'm used to handling these because I've obviously done them quite a lot, but if you find it easier, you can bulldog clip these pages together while you're doing this. Put one on one side and one on the other if you like, to make it easier to handle. Then all you would do is put your pages over your old book, and that just gives it something soft to push into, and then you would push your pocket tool through and make your holes. Okay, so you can still do it if you don't have the big bite. Now, let me just make sure all my pages are in the centre. And then all I do now, again, there is lots of different ways to bind your journal. There's a figure of 8 stitch, there's all different kinds of stitches. This is just how I do it. I like doing it this way. There is easier ways, there is more difficult ways. As I say, there's more prettier ways, but this is the way that I like to do it. So what I do is I punch a hole. You can do this with your big bite or with your pocket tool, roughly about an inch, I would say, from the top, and it's right on the centre crease. Then I go for, I only do 3 holes, and then I do another one roughly in the centre of the book. Doesn't have to be precise, guys, and like I said, you can do whatever kind of binding system you prefer. And then I do one again from the bottom, roughly an inch, again right on the centre seam. So I end up with my 3 holes like that. Now, this is how I bind it. For this particular book, because I'm doing the fairies, I'm going to use some ribbon to bind it. But usually, actually, will I use the ribbon? No, I'm not going to use the ribbon. Because I'm doing this tutorial, I'm going to do it like this. All I use is some of this baker's twine. But you can use wax string, you could even use elastic if you wanted to. You can use all different kinds of strings. You can use, I've done it with thin ribbons, but for this, we'll do this. And I would say you need maybe 2 times would be plenty. Is it? No. 3 times. We'll go 3 times because you can just cut off any excess anyway. So 3 times the size of your book. Turn your book over and then so the first one you're going to do, it doesn't matter if you do the top or the bottom hole here, but you always start with the outside holes. Push your string through one and then through the other. Like that. Just pull it across. Turn your book to the inside. Then you're going to take both ends of your string and pop it through your centre hole. So 1 and 2, like that. Turn it back over. Now at this point, you see how you have your middle string, so you want to make sure that one of your strings comes out from one side and one of the strings is coming out the other. Okay, like that. And then pull it tight as you want it, so you make sure that it's nice and pulled tight, so you've not got any slack. You will get some slack, but you want it to be quite tight. Not tight enough to rip the holes, but quite tight. Then simply tie a knot, just a normal knot like that, and I usually put about 3 or 4 whoops in it. You don't tie it as tight as that, but it's actually alright because I've already got 2 in. So after telling you not to tie it too tight, I tied it too tight. However, actually that's actually a good thing to show you. If that does happen, that you pull it too tight, take your pocket tool and just take out the knots that you've just done. We'll just say I've done that on purpose. Okay, and then all you have to do is pull more string through. like that. So it doesn't really matter, guys. That string's not as actually as strong as the brown one, maybe because it's coated, I don't know. But anyway, tie, I usually put in 3 or 4. Okay, and then with this bit that's left, you can take your bulldog clips off now. With this bit that's left, you can tie on beads or charms or, you know, any wee decoration that you like. But here is your basic journal. Now that was really easy, I think. Like I said, please don't think this is the only way you can make journals. There is tons and tons, and there is so many talented ladies out there. Joy DeFee, she does amazing journals here on YouTube. As does Artie Mays, Tsunami Rose, gosh, there is so many. Laurie, who is Girl on the Ridge. My favourite journal maker on YouTube, guys, is April from Pink Oddbird. She, her journals are just absolutely divine. Okay, so anyway, I digress again. Here is my basic journal. You open it up, got your beautiful first page, doily, the bag, other bag, now if you're thinking about, because you can see the punch holes, that's actually, I just do it like that, but it's because I've used the bigger size punch on the big bite. You can actually use a smaller one, and if you do, you don't see the holes. I just used the bigger one today. So anyway, that is the journal. Now for this front piece here, let me put that on top of there just now. You can, like I said, use another piece of card, which would effectively be on like that to cover the edge, and then you could put a piece of ribbon down the side, or you can basically do what I'm just going to do just now, and that is put a piece of lace or pom-pom trim down. So 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to use this beautiful crochet lace trim here that was sent to me by the lovely Denise Woodley. I'm just going to pop that off. Now at this stage you could use hot glue if you wanted to, but I'm going to use my fabric glue from the range. So I'm just going to see how much I need. I'm going to cut off the edge just to neaten it up a bit, and then see how much I need, and roughly I'm going to take it just slightly bigger, and you're going to need 2 of these, so just measure out another one, like that. And then I'm also going to use this beautiful cream pom-pom trim, so I'm going to measure out two of these, roughly like that. At this stage, before you put this on, if you want to mat and layer the front of your book, that is when you would do it. I'm not going to do it for this demonstration, guys, because everybody decorates their book differently. So all I'm going to do is add on my fabric glue. As I said, you can do this with any fabric glue you've got, or you can use hot glue from your hot glue gun. So that's going down there. Then I'm going to put my lace or crocheted lace down like that. And then right over the centre of this, I'm going to put another layer of glue down here and put on my pom-pom trim. You can put as many layers of lace or fabric as you like, or like I said, use the card technique, or you can make your journal a bit smaller to make the pages fit first time round, but I like doing it this way because I know I'm going to put fabric on the edge anyway. So there we go. So I'll pause it and do the back page as well. Okay, so that is that glued on. So as you can see now, you kind of see the pages coming out the edge because of the lace and the pom-pom trim. And I think it looks nice as well, that's why I always do it like that. So of course you can now go ahead and add your lace down this side if you wanted to cover up this binding, or you can put a piece of paper around it. You don't have to. I like to have my binding showing, and I always put beads and charms and things on the side. And then you would go ahead and decorate your front cover. So I will show you with this one. Obviously, if you're wanting to do your fabric, you would just cover it in your fabric glue before you bind it, inside and out if you wanted to, and leave it to dry. So what you can put inside, see I've decorated this one up with like brad. I have tied on lots of fibres onto the spine and the charms onto the spine. I've also added lots of pom-pom trims and different fibres onto the edge of the pages. You can do that as well. Inside you can make a pocket, or this one doesn't have a pocket but you can, or you can put envelopes in it. This one here is just a wee flip that I have made. This is basically just a piece of paper that has been folded over at the bottom to make a wee pocket. Got some material down here. I've made some handmade envelopes, decorated it with flowers. These are just some, so you can add like your die cuts. You can see here I've used my stencil. What other ideas are in here? Just lots of nice die cuts. You can use your ephemera. You can make tuck spots and pockets. Use some little paper tags. And you can see is the bag, and you can actually make little notebooks. This is the notebook from an envelopes that I have made, and just pop that inside. So it is totally up to you guys how you decorate them. That is an envelope from a Artemis kit. This book, I've totally not finished it yet. And then this one is a wee pocket and it's got a tag inside it. So loads and loads of ideas. Then YouTube is absolutely full of amazing ladies and gentlemen with amazing journal ideas. This one I like. This is an envelope from an Artemis kit, but instead of using it as an envelope, what I've done was just lined it with my paper and then left it open. So it looks like a wee envelope, but it's actually a wee hidden journal spot. And then you can just use your paper clips, and this is an envelope. In fact, this isn't an envelope, this is just a sheet of paper that I have stamped, aged and stenciled. It just gives you some extra journaling space. So if you've got any questions at all, guys, about this really basic journal tutorial, just leave them in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And like I said, this is just to give you some basic ideas on how to start. By the time this was finished, you can see how fat I mean, this one has 2 signatures, but you could, by the time you're finished, you're going to have quite a fat journal. And you can decorate it any way you like. Like I said, I'm going to use the flower fairies to decorate up this one, and I will come back on and show you it when it is finished. So thank you so much for watching. I will be coming back on. I have got some Happy Mail to show you and things like that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hit me a thumbs up for this video or a thumbs down, and I will see you all again soon. Bye bye.